Another frequently asked question is if I would consider doing a reunion with my group members. Especially now in the height of everybody from our era, all the greats from our era and before us in our time period coming back together and making it happen. And I like to say, first off, respect to all those artists. It's exciting, as exciting for me as it is for the rest of the fans. I sit back, y'all don't know who I am because I don't go by anything on that would let you know that that was who I was. I don't wear that like a flag. I'm me, who I was before any of that. So I'm following and rooting for all of y'all to do y'all thing, know that. But it's a verse in the Bible, and it's just a common saying, there's everything ain't for everybody. And that's where I'm at. It's like, that's just not for me. Like, I tried that way of life, I tried that, and it just wasn't for me. And I've given more than I intended to give from the beginning. When we first got signed, a lot of people, well, most people, anybody who doesn't know me personally doesn't know this. But when we first got signed, when we went up to New York and we sung at the Hit Factory, a couple days later, they put us in a studio called SIR Studios where we were going to learn our stage show. And up until that point, because we were such big Jodeci fans, we never incorporated a lot of dancing. Most we did was a little church rock, just like Jodeci did, the little boom, boom, boom. That was it. So when we got up there and Cisco just had a bright idea, it was a joke. It was, honestly and truthfully, it was a joke. He said, hey y'all, what if we did like this? And it was the church rock, but it was like on boosters or something. Like, he jumped up in the air. And it just so happened that the guy who was helping to put together our stage show saw him do that. He was joking, but he saw him do it. He said, that's great. All y'all should do that. My thing is, I've always been a singer and a songwriter. I've never been a dancer. I've always been very stiff when it comes to dancing and moving around. Even my walk, like my mom used to tell me I walk like a robot. And now that I'm an adult, like, people say that I walk like a army military person. Very meticulous, very stiff, very, whatever. So dancing for me was not my strong suit. So when we would dance and get the steps wrong, every time I missed a step, everybody had to do push-ups and sit-ups. Everybody had to be disciplined for it. So when I saw that happening, I always wanted to be an asset to anything that I was a part of, not a liability. So the fact that I saw that I was messing up and everybody was paying the price for that, I asked the guy who discovered us and took us up to New York, Haq Islam, I said, can you give me $80? And that let you know how long ago it was. I said, can you give me $80? He said, for what? I said, for a train ticket back home. That was the first time, besides the time my mom took me out of the group, that was the first time I quit the group. And he said, man, it don't look good if I brought 4 guys up here and only 3 guys signed. So could you please stick it out? Then when we did this Christmas, that day I didn't get on the train to go up there. And everybody was calling me, I never picked up the phone. So finally he picked up the phone, he said, what's wrong? I said, man, I know I'm not the lead singer, but Boys II Men, all these groups find ways that everybody get a chance to do their thing. 112, everybody doing their thing. Why is it that I never get a chance to do nothing? Like, I felt like wherever somebody came up short, I was the person that had to take an L to make everybody else okay. Like, when it came time for clothes and stuff like that, if it was a slick outfit, like a service outfit that we picked out in the store, and they didn't have the size of one of the guys, I would have to wear the outfit with the person that can't wear the size like everybody else. Or if they said I was in shape at that time, I got pictures that you can see, whereas though I had a 6-pack, 8-pack stomach, like the 2 little guys. But it was like, oh, yo, somebody gotta keep their shirt on with Jazz, yo. You take yours off, you gonna make Jazz look crazy. So then when I want to sing, like them 2 sing, I say, can I get a part 2? He said, oh, that's gonna make Note look crazy because then they gonna say everybody singing except for him. But then that would have been all fine and good. But then when it come to dancing, I don't dance well. So why can't we make it out for me? Then I had to, oh no, we got to do that. Ain't nothing we can do about that. So I accommodated everybody else. Nobody else accommodated me. So I'm like, I want a part. And they like, well, whatever. So then the guy who signed us said to me, can you please just make it work for 1 year? All I'm asking of you is, can you please just give me 1 year? And after that 1 year, if you don't like the way how things are, you can leave. This was the first year we came out. This was '96. And so I gave not 1 year, I ended up giving like years. So now that I'm out of it, I don't have no intentions on coming back. Like in the times that I did go against my better judgment, this is how much time we got?
15 minutes.
Okay. This is the honest to goodness truth, and once again, like I said, I got pictures. Everything I say, I got. Nowadays, what people say receipts. I got receipts to back up everything that I said and sitting up here. And what the thing I said about me sending out the emails, I got receipts on that. I got receipts on everything that I said here say. But one thing, like before we even the night before we went up to New York to get signed, I had went to the barber shop. My barber wasn't there. I had a very slight case of razor bumps on my cheek. But my barber was a type of person, well, the barber who cut my hair that day, not my barber, but the guy who cut my hair that day was a very particular person, for lack of better words. And he's like the person that'll look at a guy and just analyze you up and down and just find anything wrong with you and just zero in on it. And he's like, oh, you got razor bumps. He's like, what you need to do is take some tweezers and pick that hair out. And I misunderstood him. Once again, I don't blame people for things that I messed up. I misunderstood what he meant. He meant, now in hindsight, I know that he meant to just pick out the part of it so that it could grow outwardly instead of growing back in my skin. I misunderstood him and thought he meant to pull the hair out of my face with the tweezers. So I sat in Noak's bathroom the night before when we were rehearsing, while everybody was I was waiting on the ride to get picked up. I don't know what everybody else was doing out there, listening to music, whatever. I sat in his bathroom and picked every single hair out of my face. So the next day when I woke up, I'm sure everybody watching, everybody black that's watching, and everybody that's not black, ask one of your black friends or look it up. I don't know the name of it, but it's a thing that a lot of black guys get in the back of their neck. And the barber says it's like a very aggressive bacteria or something that makes their neck look like that. It's like bumps and look basically like Rice Krispies, like a Rice Krispie treat on the back of their neck. That's what my face looked like for the whole first year that we was out. And I never had that problem before. I felt like that was the good Lord raining on my parade to not let me enjoy that like that. And the reason, but I kind of had dismissed it because I was able to get some help with it, and it's better. But just like when Jacob wrestling with the angel, he left him a little limp to know he was there. I still got little problems to let me know that happened. But fast forward, I did the one time I did try to reunion with them, or it was just like a one night only thing. Casey and JoJo had a show here in Baltimore. Like I said, I'm the biggest Jodeci fan in the world. I'm actually the guy who turned Cisco on to Jodeci, because he was a Boyz II Men fan. I got pictures of him dressing like Wanye with a cane in his hand, and I got on the shades and the Jodeci type of gear or whatever. We traded tapes. He gave me his Boyz II Men tape to listen to for a week, and I gave him my Jodeci tape, and he came back and went from singing like Wanye and doing all the head movements and stuff to come back, he was KC. He had the clear see-through jacket and the boots and everything. So I'm the most diehardest Jodeci fan in the whole wide world. So the male fan anyway. But he came back, and Casey and JoJo were in town for a show. So came to find out, the guy who promoted the show told me they were coming in town, and then he told me that just added to the show was my old group. So he had told me before that he had me on tickets to come to the show. I never contacted him back. I contacted him the night before. He said, I'm gonna ask you, just like when Mike Tyson, if it was an MMA fight or a boxing event, and Mike Tyson or Sugar Ray Leonard or somebody was in the area, we gonna ask them how they would ask them to, when they put the camera on them, can y'all wave and let everybody know y'all in the house? Can you just come on stage and let everybody know you in the house? And that's all I'm gonna ask for you, and you can get tickets and all access so you can see your heroes, Casey and JoJo, and have a good night, have a good show. So I did that, but I kind of got finessed into coming on stage with the group. And then they played the music, and I actually, if you look on YouTube, you'll see a video. I freestyled my own verse to let people know, like, hey, y'all see me up here, but I work a 9 to 5, and I'm on public transportation, so don't think that I got nothing, and don't try to roll up on me because you see me up on stage. It's not like that in real life. What the comedian said, if a nigga rob me, just be practicing. So I basically did a little freestyle, let everybody know that. But case in point, I was using Beijing because my beard never grew in full like everybody, like a lot of other guys, beard gang and all that. Mine had little patches, so I was using the Beijing to connect the dots, like Pee Wee Herman said, la la la, connect the dots. I was doing that. So the Beijing never gave me a problem before. That night I performed with them. The next day I woke up looking like Martin when Martin was fighting Tommy the Hitman Hearns. So every time I do something with those guys, something happens with my face to let me know. It's like a reminder from the Heavenly Father, like, that's not what you're supposed to be doing. And I'm like just comfortable where I am right now, you know? So I don't have any intentions on doing any reuniting. You know, like I said, I support them and what they doing, but just ain't for me. Enjoy Teo. Teo one of the best singers on this planet, man. That man hit notes and range and stuff like you never heard in your life. And he's a heck of a guy, man. His birthday the day before mine, so it's almost like I'm there, but just in a different body. Enjoy that man, man. Let that man do his thing. All right, man. Look like that's about it, man. That's all the stuff that I know that y'all asked me. So, if anything else, notice I said anything else, not these same questions. You asked me these questions, this time I answered them in a nice, happy, upbeat fashion. Next time it's gonna be some expletives in there, if you get answered at all. But hopefully this is all that you guys wanted to know. Peace and love to each and every one of y'all. And if you got any other questions or any other thing else that you want to talk to me about, you can find me on Instagram at _James, JAMES, _Edward, EDWARD. And you can find me on Facebook as James Green, which is my name. And man, shout out to everybody, all the diehard fans, the real fans that show love from day one. Shout out to the people who weren't a fan, but then they heard the story and they say, I respect you because you stand for something. Shout to the people that say you dumb as shit and you should be up there getting that money. Shout to y'all too. As long as I ain't asking y'all for nothing, don't worry about it. Shout to the ones who take pictures, want to come to my place of employment and want to be wise guys that take little sneak pictures and all that old type of stuff. All of y'all, man, because it's all just adding to my story, you know? And all of it makes me who I am for real. And I got love for every experience that I've ever been through. And man, to the guys, man, just keep doing what y'all doing and just move on. Realize I'm not a part of it anymore. And just when I get brought up, just be like, that's Wood. He was here for a period. He's not here anymore. And that's the response. And shout to Teo, man, for real, because you definitely be coming in with them clutch answers, man. And when people try to play against people's intelligence and stuff like that, you had the presence of mind to see the BS coming and you swat it away and you don't let it go down. So I definitely appreciate you, my brother. Look forward to seeing you soon, either at the gym or at the bar, man. Anywhere where we hang out for real, doing what we do, man. And peace and the Most High bless each and every one of y'all. Shalom to my Hebrew brothers and sisters out there. And to everybody else, peace and love. So.